Okay, so we're going to continue with multiplying polynomials together, and this time we're going to multiply together two binomials. Okay, and so I'm telling you in this top portion here that you can multiply together two binomials just by using the distributive property, except now we're going to have to use it twice. Right? We have two numbers out front, and both of those numbers are going to have to be distributed into the second polynomial. So it's very similar to what we did when we multiplied together a monomial and a binomial, or a monomial and a trinomial. We're going to take the term from the first group and multiply it into the second group. But if you take a look down at this first example, I actually have two parts to what I'm distributing. Right? I have the x and I have the -6. Both of those are going to be distributed into the second term. And then I'm going to have to do a little bit of combining like terms and simplifying when I'm done. Okay, so let's hop right into the example, and this will make a lot of sense. Okay, so my first term that I'm going to distribute is this x. I'm going to say let's do x times 4x, and let's do x times 3. So if I do that, well, x times 4x, remember again that there's an exponent of 1 in each of these spots, and I'm multiplying so exponents will change. I'm going to say this turns into 4x squared. Okay, and x times 3 is just 3x, so I have 3x. Okay, and now I'm going to do the exact same thing with the 6. I'm going to say -6 times 4. Well, that's -24x. And I can also do the -6 times the 3, and that's going to give me a -18. Okay, so I've multiplied out, and if you notice, 2 times 2 is 4, and I ended up with 4 terms. I multiplied a 2 term times a 2 term, and I ended up with 4 terms. Okay, the last thing that I'm going to need to do is look at this expression and simplify anything that is alike. So that usually that's going to show up here in the middle. Those middle two terms are like terms, and I'm going to be able to add those together, or in this case subtract them. Okay, so I'm going to say 4x squared, let's bring that along. Okay, 3x minus 24x leaves me with -21x, and then -18. Okay, so I'm going to say that the product of x minus 6 and 4x plus 3 is 4x squared minus 21x minus 18. And it's as simple as that. It's the exact same thing as that we did when we were multiplying in a monomial, except now we have to do it twice. Okay, so let's take a look at a second example. So my second example, I'm going to do the exact same thing. I'm going to say 3x times x. Well, that looks like 3x squared. And I'm going to say 3x times 4. Well, we can only do the 3 and the 4 there, so that's 12x. Okay. And now I'm going to go to the next one. Well, if I do 1 times anything, I'm just going to get that anything. So 1 times x is just x, and 1 times 4 will give me 4. And again, if you take a look at the middle two terms, I can combine a 12x and a 1x. So I'm going to simplify this into 3x squared plus 13x plus 4. Okay. One more example. So again, same process. 2x times 3x, that gives me 6x squared. 2x times -7, well, that gives me -14x. And then again, I'm going to go the other way. I'm going to say 2 times 3x gives me 6x, and 2 times -7 gives me -14. So when I combine these together, 6x squared, the middle combines, -14 plus 6 leaves me with -8, and then -14 at the end. Okay, so I would say 6x squared minus 18x minus 6x squared minus 8x minus 14 is going to be the product of these two terms.